Hi, welcome to Centerville Reports Today. I'm Maureen Russell Hodson. If you have a family member or friend or loved one who is serving in the armed services, do you know where you can go get support right here in our community? The Blue Star Mothers. And here to tell us more is the Chapter 3 president of that unit, and it's Tammy Murphy. Tammy, thanks for being here today.
Hi, thank you, Maureen.
So I'm assuming that if folks, even if you've had other family members go, it seems like maybe every time someone ends up leaving to serve our country, that's got to be hard on the family.
That seems to be the most important part, where people come to find, where can I get that support? So a lot of our members, the mothers for the first time, are dealing with a child who's going into the armed forces, and they just don't know what to do with themselves. They don't know how they're going to cope with that. And so we're there for them. And obviously anybody who has served or who is now serving, we are open to their membership and welcome them to come in and be with us in our meetings.
Now, you're a well-known chapter because your chapter had been at Town and Country for
several years,
years and years, and you've recently moved into Centerville.
Correct.
And so tell us about your new location.
So we have, we actually transitioned about September with location. Our Town and Country was lost to us, and so we sought out Ed and Dorinda Reese of Reese Legacy Center graciously offered space in their building, which is there on Clio Road.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the old Sears Parts place. Many people in Centerville remember that. It's now the Legacy Center, and so they have funeral services on the one side of the building, and we've renovated to do our troop center out of the other side.
And so when I think all of us have heard of Blue Star Mothers, but I know you offer support, but you offer so much for families, but you offer so much for the troops as well.
Correct. That's the main part of our mission, is to support those members of our military who are deployed specifically. Many times we think, well, they're in the Army, they're in the Navy, they're in the Marines, they get taken care of. And the fact of the matter is, as moms, we typically find out our sons and daughters aren't getting any of the maybe some of the nice things that's good to have, some of the snacks, some of the comforts from home.
But things that we take for granted every day.
Absolutely, the things we take for granted. I know my oldest had actually made the comment that he was glad to have a toothbrush to brush his teeth with, and it's something that you would never think they would do without. But obviously, depending on where they're deployed, they may or may not have the support of a PX or anything like that. So we send the care packages to those members as we receive their names, either from those family members that know where they're going or from other members in the military who say, my buddy hasn't gotten anything, he doesn't have any support from home. So we get those referrals like that as well.
Do you have to live in the Dayton area to receive a care package?
No, in fact, our chapter supports, we have about 250 names on our list that we support. And those are not just specific from our community, but from anywhere and across the country. So we get, again, that information comes to us either from a family member or a member in the military that say, I know this person isn't getting any support, could you send them something? And then we put them on our list and take care of them for the time that they're on their deployment.
That's amazing. So it usually could be, what, a year, maybe up to 2 years?
Typically they do a year deployment. Sometimes different troops do different types of services and things like that, and they're in different parts of the world. So we support them as long as we know that we can get packages safely to them and that we have that current contact information.
And you mentioned earlier about your oldest son. This is how you got involved with Blue Star Mothers, right?
Yes, he surprised me and said, Mom, I'm going in. And you know, you go through that whirlwind, and it's that he's at base, he's doing the boot camp, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I don't get to have that one-on-one contact that I'm used to. And I was actually very lucky and ran into one of the Blue Star Mothers at that time who introduced me to the chapter and said, you know, once a month, it's something you can rely on, and these moms are people who've already gone through it or are going through it or, you know, are just there to support you. So as our mission states that we're here to support our troops, we also support our veterans, but a third part of that is that we support each other.
And you meet every month?
We meet monthly on the second Monday of the month, and we have our meeting places donated to us by the church there in Kettering. I think you've got that information. And we go there and just, you know, it's a quick go through the business and the semantics of what it is that we need to do, and basically update our membership on activities that are coming up.
And is this open to anyone who has someone serving or has had someone serve?
Anyone that would be interested in more information can certainly join our meetings. And then if they want to be a member, as a Blue Star mom, you would need to be a mother, grandmother, stepmother, or a legal guardian of a child who's either serving now or who has served. So they maybe did their service before. And that's as our member. Then we have associate members who take in other friends, family, co-workers of anybody that wants to support the military. Of course, then we have our Blue Star dads.
I was going to ask about the dads. How do they fit in?
We don't leave them out.
Yeah.
They just don't typically come to the meetings as often because it is geared for the women supporting each other. But we have active Blue Star fathers as well.
Okay.
So.
And explain the significance of the Blue Star.
Well, the Blue Star is a designation. When this chartered back in 1942, Blue Star Mothers of America, they would hang the banner in their window that showed that they had a loved one serving in the military. So that's the most common way.
World War II.
Back in World War II.
Okay.
And that has continued as the tradition. We have the banner, and you'll see a blue star, which means that you have a son or daughter who's serving in the military or who has served in the military. Sometimes you'll see the banner and it has 2 or 3 or multiple stars. That means they either have or have had that number of members in the community that are serving. Okay. So they have 3 daughters or 3 sons or a combination of that if there are 3 stars on the banner.
Okay, and so I see you're wearing your Blue Star today.
Yes.
And every member has one of those as well.
As a member, they can have the opportunity to have the membership pen. It just shows that you're a member. A lot of times what you'll see is the banner displayed in the home or on the vehicle. So that's a common way to identify a Blue Star mom person.
So if you don't have anyone serving and you're not a member of the Blue Star Mothers, you can still support the organization,
You
right?
absolutely can support it. You know, we've been very blessed, even in our prior location at Town and Country. Our communities are just very familiar with military as a presence. We have the base that's here, right, Pat? We have the National Museum. We also have a VA center, and we have the National Cemetery that's here. So we have a 4-prong approach as to our mission and why we are in the community that we are. So we've been very blessed. Our community from Montgomery County, Greene County, all of those surrounding counties that we support reach out to us and offer donations, encouragement to continue to do what we do, and just give us the opportunity to serve these communities as well.
So if you're in a group or a family and that would like to make a donation, do you prefer monetary donations? Do you prefer toothbrushes, as you said? Is there a list that people can go and find out what you are looking for?
Absolutely. I just updated the list that's on our website. So as the needs change with our troops, we obviously want to make sure that we're sending them the items that are most requested. And it just depends. Seasonal items, hand warmers and foot warmers, those are always popular when it's very cold. But the rest of the time, a lot of the food donations that we receive are non-perishable. It has to be easy, ready to go, you know, but they get so tired of the MREs, that's their life sustenance, but, you know, they crave that Pop-Tart or some item that was just a favorite junk food. This is the comforts from home that we're able to send to them. We can't, unfortunately, send them home-baked items. We know we have lots of moms that want to do that, but we do keep it to the non-perishable items that are purchased. So anytime we get donations, we pass that along. Monetary donations are always helpful. Our biggest expense as a chapter actually is with postage. So where we get a lot of the donated items, we can put the packages together. We then still have to pay for the shipping to go out. So it's unfortunate we don't get to tag on to those military planes to drop it off. It does go through the actual USPS service, and so shipping is our biggest cost.
So is a good place to go to make a donation to the website?
Absolutely. We have a way they can do that online. If they want to mail a check in, I had a call today that asked about how can I send it, and I want to do it in honor of somebody who's just passed. Okay. If you send that kind of a note with us, then we make sure we honor that request. We identify that person so that it can be done in their memory as well.
Okay, and the website is bluestarmothersdayton.com.
Correct.
Bluestarmothersdayton.com, and we have it on the screen. But is there a certain number of items that you would need to donate? Is 20 a good number? Is 150? I mean, you said you're taking care of over 200 service personnel right now.
Correct. Over 250 military members are on our list. Just as an example, you know, our stocking stuffing, which we do annually, is a big event.
Yeah.
We get a lot of the treats for troops, the donations that take place in October, come from dental offices that that supply us the
candy that kids
candy.
have collected, okay.
They buy back the candy from the kids, and then we take that, and that helps to fill the stockings that we send to our troops.
It's a great idea.
It's a great idea. It just helps to cover a lot of purposes there. And this year, we actually had less numbers for stockings that we were going to supply, and then we received a request for one of the deployed troops that was going out on a carrier. So because that request came in, we filled our stockings, but we had such an overabundance of candy, we were able to fill holiday bags. So we did an extra 1,050 bags.
Oh my goodness.
Specific to that deployment that was going out on the ship. So these were people that were going out. They were supposed to send out on mid-December, so they weren't going to be for the holidays, and many of them, this was their first deployment. We were able to send that bag of cheer, which really was just a trinket, but it's something that they get to open then at Christmas. So whether or not they, actually celebrate Christmas, it's still the feeling of being able to open something with
somebody
the others.
from home.
Somebody at home was
remembered you.
thinking about them. Yeah.
And so, give us an idea of the places that you're sending these care packages.
Well, the deployed troops are all over the world. We hear a lot in the news about Afghanistan or Iraq, and troops have been pulled down. We know that we still have troops that are serving a different portion of their mission in either cleanups or reboots or whatever the system is. And those are the troops that still need support. Again, because if there's been a drawdown, then they may not have the PX. They may not have the supplies readily right there where we still have troops in the area. So we want to make sure, and we send Korea, we send to Afghanistan and Iraq, Germany, it just depends on where they're located. They're all over the place. Typically it's not stateside, because when we think of those troops that are deployed stateside, they are someplace where they have contact and support. So we definitely go outside of the country to support those.
And what's the response been once these men and women get these packages?
It's just something, and I can only speak from my son's personal experience, and it's not even just that they were really waiting on those Twizzlers or the Pop-Tarts, but it's just the thought that they get something. And that's where those referrals come in. You got somebody who's not getting anything, they're not getting letters, they're not getting packages, and time after time after time, that just breaks a person down. So if we can send out a care package, something to let them know they're being thought of, then that's just a welcome to them, no matter where they are or who they are. And it's a feeling of, I'm not forgotten. I may not be there, but I'm not forgotten, and that's important.
And do they get notes? I mean, could, for instance, a school classroom send notes or get an address from you, or could you forward those on or something like that?
Many times we have teachers who contact us and want to do a project with their classes, and we encourage that. We just have to be careful, because you don't want to have any personal information relayed, either the child's name or the troops member's name, but we are able to pass those on. We do Valentine cards. Sometimes we'll get those dropped off from classes. And even if it's just a colored picture, a picture where they've colored a message or a patriotic theme or any theme actually, then we pass that along. Again, it's something that makes it more personal in receiving that item.
And if people wanted to drop things off, they can do so at your new center, right?
We do have, our new center is open for donations. Typically we have the Troop Center manned from Saturday 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We also have a barrel that sits outside of the front door for donations. So if somebody needed to drop off an item, typically they can contact us and let us know. We can meet them, or they can just leave it in the donation barrel.
Okay, and that's, again, you can make a cash donation or a donation of personal items or goodies, or go to the website, which is bluestarmothersdayton.com. You can get more information about the types of items that you need, and maybe even some ideas about some other, if you needed notes or letters or something like that.
Right, and we do a lot of fundraising, so that's the biggest way that we generate revenue for our mission. So this year we have our annual golf outing that'll be coming up in June, and then we also have been selected as the charity of choice for the Battle of the Badges, which
so you need to go to the website and get more information about that. Again, it's bluestarmothersdayton.com.
Thank you.